Well, good afternoon. It is after 1 o'clock according to my time on my phone. I did the lawn this morning, and I'm going to tell you what, it could be one of two factors, but at the same time, it's completely different. So, I was telling my friend earlier, because she encouraged me to get my day, and thank you so much, sis, for encouraging me every single day. Thank you so much. Um, so I was telling her that by the time that she had texted me, I was just a little over halfway finished with my entire yard. And on this back side, like, I was really starting to struggle. The front side I got done in no time flat. But this back side, it really started to kind of drag me down. And as I was telling her, either my feminine situation is getting ready to happen, or I was thinking while in the shower, it could also be where I've been so overly active this week. But I kind of believe that it could be maybe the factor of both. Because like I had said on my conclusion video last night, I moved it every single day this week, which is something that I hadn't been able to do in close to 2 months. So it could be that, and the fact that my monthly time is about to come. A combination of both. And I know that I'm always weak when that time comes around. I'm always weak. So, but at the same time, even though I was struggling, I was still able to mow the lawn faster than I did last week. So that tells me I am getting stronger. I just wish that I would have been able to do the lawn in one fell swoop instead of having to sit and rest a couple times. But last week, I had to sit many times. I would like do 1 or 2 rounds and have to sit and break it. This time, I only had to sit and break back here. I'm thinking only 2 times, but maybe 3. Nonetheless, I did get it done faster than I did last week, so I am gaining ground. That I can definitely tell. And my recovery time is a lot better too. A whole lot better. I didn't quite feel the recovery last week like I needed to. But today, other than like me kind of feeling the telltale sign of exhaustion, at the same time, I'm already recovering from the workout. And according to my net diary, and this was so cool, I was prepared to put in how much time it took me to mow. And when I clicked on lawn mowing for my activity, it had already timed it because my phone had been in my hip pocket all along, and I didn't even hit lawn mowing the first time. Not until after I was finished. and it showed that I done 150 minutes. That's not including the 20 minutes that I had sat total for rest, and it showed that I had done over 1,000 calories. Like, woo! And it's kind of crazy. I can feel when I burn that kind of stuff. I can feel when I burn that kind of calorie. Um, Sometimes my exhaustion, according to other calculations, it shows me to have burned less calories than what I feel like I burnt. But this time, I'm enjoying my net diary. I am really totally enjoying my net diary. Um, so yesterday I came in at 220.5, and this morning I came in at 220.9. So the 4 ounce gain, I will put credibility to the fact that I ate the pizza rolls, but I'm not going to say that the M&Ms or the Tootsie Pop done it. Because for one, I did walk a little bit after I ate the M&Ms, but I ate the pizza rolls when I came back. So I'm going to tell you one thing. I am being relentless as far as it goes, moving and making sure that I burn calories and keeping active. And I am staying more active by hour than I am sitting by far. I might not be burning as many calories as I am with my resting burn, but nonetheless, I am more active time wise than I am sitting. Because when it's all said and done, I may average about 4 hours sitting and working. But when I do a walk in the morning and then in the evening, and I take care of the animals and I take the time out to cook, and of course, doing my live stream with you all, uh, which that can be counted sitting as well. Uh, but when I go walking, I average about 2.5 hours for the route that I do, and that's about 5 hours. And so I am definitely more active hour wise, time wise than I am sitting. And and the fact that what I'm eating is different from what I used to eat or how I used to eat. There is that big difference from way back when, and my body cannot hold on to this fat much longer because I'm being relentless about this. My mind, heart, and spirit is set on it. Yeah, I would much rather just go on ahead and get to sit around. But I tell you what, when I just sit and I haven't done anything at all, the guilt trip really starts to eat at me alive. And I don't like the feeling of thinking that I had failed myself by not moving or not being active. I don't like that feeling. The only time that I don't feel the guilt about it is Sunday, But even on Saturdays, when Saturday is up in the air for me to do whatever, to either walk or whatever, or go or whatever, whatever it may be, if I don't at least attempt to do something, even if it's something small, I feel guilty. But I never feel guilty about having rest on Sunday. But during the weekdays, that's the worst. If I don't do anything during the weekdays, I really, really feel the guilt for not moving. So you can understand how excited and happy I am that I kept so busy this week. That every day I did a workout. Every day I done my strength training. Every day I attempted to do something good. And I feel so good about that. I feel so good because I did. I feel better mentally because I did than I do physically. Physically, like it'd be so much easier to just sit around. But then knowing that I am doing myself better, that I am getting myself stronger, that I am building my stamina, my energy, makes it worth it physically. I had a thought. Like I said, I'm always thinking. My mind is constantly thinking while I'm busy. And it had crossed my mind just a second ago as I was talking, and then it's gone. I hate that. Oh yeah, about my strength training this morning. Um, when I was doing my push-ups, I felt a little bit of aggravation in my elbow, my right elbow. I don't know if I didn't have the proper form or not. Uh, but I wasn't going to take a chance of like hurting myself. So I went on ahead and pushed on through to do the 10, but I was a little bit more ginger about it. But for my planks, I ran on ahead and done 15 count on my repetition. And then for my core exercise, I did 5 reps with 10 count each rep. So that was certainly something. That was certainly something. And that kind of made up for me not being able to properly complete my push-ups the way that I would like to. One of these days, if I don't give up, because I'm hoping that it's nothing major on my elbow, but that I simply just didn't have proper form and I'd put too much pressure on my arm. Um, but one of these days, I am expecting that I will be able to do a full plank push-up instead of modified, and it be completely to the floor and up. Yeah, one of these days. One of these days. Right now, though, I'm doing good to be able to push my torso up. So I'll have to stick with the modified for now. At least I can push 10. Boy, that's a story to tell. That is a story to tell. Way back when I was eating double portions with seconds, I had attempted to start strength training. And it's probably a mixed time that I'm going to include. During this particular time, McDonald's was promoting health, and so they was giving away pedometers and what used to be adult Happy Meals, which they that was shortly ran. They didn't do the adult Happy Meals very long, but while they ran it, they was giving away pedometers. And so I wanted a pedometer very badly. And the model was the type, it wasn't digital. I mean, it wasn't electronic. It worked with a clapper inside. So every step you took, that clapper would hit the button, which would prompt the counter. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The first pedometer I had ever owned. And it also came with a little booklet with different exercises, which was doubly awesome. And one of the exercises was a type of core, and they called it like the sailboat or something, but it was where you would sit on your bum, lean back a little bit, raise your legs, and balance yourself on your bummer. And then something like balancing with your arms going up and down or something other like that, I think they had added. Anyway, that was pretty cool. And I didn't do too bad with that. But then I had attempted to do push ups, which was the first time I had ever tried to do push ups. I don't remember how much I had weighed at that time, but I most definitely did not use my upper body very much. And so I had attempted to do push ups for the first time, and I'd done the modified version. And by the time I got to 5 count, I thought, like, there was no way. And I was trying to go all the way down to the floor and just really, and I couldn't even hardly push myself back up. And so I would only halfway go down so that I could lift myself back up. And I tried to push myself to 10, and I barely made it. So that was my first experience of doing push ups, and I had never realized just how difficult it was or how heavy my torso was. So, but now, like, no, I don't go all the way to the floor, but I can do 10. And so, yeah, I am looking to get strong enough, even if I have to continue doing the modified for a while, at least to go all the way down to the floor. If I keep consistent enough, maybe within the next 2, 3 months, finally be able to go all the way down to the floor. But I am looking to one day be able to do a full plank push up all the way to the floor. I'm looking to be able to do it. And I believe that one day I will. One day that will be my type of push up, and it will no longer be modified and halfway down. But for the time being, at least I'm making the effort. It's got a slide lid on it, and I close it to keep the flies out. There's been a couple of times I had it closed, and I went to take a drink, and nothing came out, and I was like, So I am seeing all these different kinds of visions and having these desired dreams that, like, I'm also wanting to be able to run like my brother can. Now, I don't know how he runs now or if he runs at all, but I know that he used to be able to run 6 miles under an hour. And I'm wanting to be able to run like my bro. I'm wanting to really put my body through it, you know? Had you ever seen the movie with Penny Marshall? She she had seen that there was a triathlon going on, and her and her daughter kind of joked about it, about wouldn't it be funny or cool or something other along the lines for her to do a triathlon or for her to join the triathlon for that year. And then finally she thought, I think it was actually the daughter that maybe encouraged her to. And after a little bit of coaxing, she agreed to it. Or maybe she had thought about doing it and her daughter said that she was too old. Whatever the case, there was opposition on one side and encouragement on the other. But she went on and trained for it. And she went through vigorous exercise, jogging a lot, running a lot. She would go swimming at the local YMCA and practice laps and, just really working out. And her daughter kind of kept on her about what she was choosing to eat. That way that she would have more protein, so less junk food and all that. And finally, the time came for her to do the triathlon. And she done, uh, I don't remember the order of things, but at one point in time, she had ended up breaking her arm. Matter of fact, I think she had broke her arm before the triathlon started. I think. Okay, it was when it was the bike run, she had wrecked her bike and broke her arm. So that was after the swim meet. And she managed to get to the meeting point to start the run. And they kept telling her that she didn't have to finish because of her arm, but she was determined because she had already trained for it. And so she ran with the broken arm, and like when it came toward the end, she wasn't anywhere near the front line. Uh, all the other runners had pretty well been done with theirs, but she continued going. And she got close to the finish line and she got tripped up and fell. And she was so close to the finish line. And her daughter and some other people who was supporting her ran out and kind of picked her up. Or it might have been a runner that was behind her. It might have been a runner that was behind her, and he helped her up. It was one or the other, but anyway, toward the very end, she was already exhausted, but she still made it through. It's really, it's a pivoting movie like the start of it's kind of boring, where it's a back and forth decision whether or not to prepare for the triathlon or not. And but once she got started with the marathon, it was very pivoting. And I remember watching the Olympics once with a triathlon going on, and I thought, how would it be to be able to do a triathlon? Would I ever do one? I'm not necessarily thinking about doing one. Would I do one? If I ever felt that I could get in the condition to, yes. But I think like bicycling, shucks, all of it, every bit of it. I would have to train really good and hard to do all three of them. I'm a good swimmer, but I'm not a strong swimmer. So I would definitely have to build that up. I'm a decent elder trotter, but a pathetic jogger. So I would have to work that up. Bicycling, I'm great on the flat as long as I can coast, but not if I'm having to go uphill. So I would have to do a whole lot of training to even attempt to do a triathlon. But it would kind of be thrilling, you know. And my thought was like, okay, with Sally McRae doing these ultra marathons, I have thought it would be so cool to attempt to do one. And even if I was the last person to cross the finish line with the worst time in, I would still be so tickled with myself because I did it. I would be able to proudly say, I done an ultra marathon. Yeah, I completed it in 100 some hours. Yeah, I came in last place. But yes, I did an ultra marathon. And I do have a competitive spirit. So that might would edge me to get in second from last place and maybe 99 and a half hours. I'm throwing out numbers, but um, I would like to do something competitive one day. I would like to, just to say that I attempted it. But in the shape I'm in right now, there ain't no living way that I'd be able to. Not at this time. So I'm not holding my breath, and I'm definitely not training for that. Right now, my main focus is to become stronger, more energized, healthier, and to lose this weight. That's my main focus right now. Once I achieve my weight goal and I get a little stronger, then I might start training to do a ultra marathon or maybe a 5K or um, there's a couple that I like to compete with sometimes on the leaderboard on the strike kick that we're on. And they do, I think it's like a 200-mile ultra marathon himself, like across Tennessee and wherever it goes. He lives in Europe, but she is in Michigan. So he comes over to the States to visit her and do these ultra marathons. I wouldn't mind joining them, but I would have to really build myself up to do that. And just right now, the state that I'm in, Well, I'd be able to do it. I would, but I'm afraid I would really come in last place and probably have a very pathetic time. But at least I'd be able to say I did it. But maybe one of these days I really will be able to do it. And that would be cool. That would be cool. It's kind of been the boy, that cloud is moving fast. It was cloudy this morning while I was mowing, so that made a big difference. And it's been windy all morning. So it being cloudy and windy, that helped a whole lot toward my lawn mowing. And now it's semi sunny out, but the skies are kind of a milky blue with thick cloud. So it's been pretty thick in humidity the past, well, almost pretty well all this week, honestly. So I think we're building up for a real good thunderstorm. And the way those clouds are moving, some of those clouds are actually thunder clouds. They're the real thick ones, but they're not black. They're not black, but they're sure moving fast. And they're coming in the direction from the south, which is where we get our storms. We actually get the storms from the southwest. They come in from southwest. The storms do. The wind actually feels good. It really does. It feels great. And I love sitting out here on days like these when, even though like it's hot at the same time, the breeze makes it comfortable. And it just kind of puts me in a relaxed state, which is also very good because I don't think it would be healthy for me to keep my heart rate elevated the majority of the day, for my heart rate to be elevated for a full 12 hours. It's very important to also have a relaxed moment so that everything can calm down and not be overstressed. Bouncie's lounging, enjoying the wind. She's got that beautiful mane on her, kind of like a lion's mane. And when the wind blows on her, it looks so pretty on her. I have to say, the lawn looks pretty good. um, Trying to think if there's anything else different or new. I know I definitely don't feel so lethargic like I felt a few months ago, and that's a definite plus that I don't feel lethargic like I did. Um, I mean, even right now, currently, like my body feels like it doesn't have any more up and go left in it for the moment. If I was to put on my shoes and get walking, but at the same time, I don't feel like I need to lie down. I remember at one point in time in my life that back when I was married to my first husband, when I was with my first husband, we would get in such severe arguments. Now, I'm not bringing this up to bash him. That's not what I'm aiming on. So, uh, but what I'm driving at is during this time, once again, going back, referring to how I ate big portions and everything, really not caring, not active, which I really didn't feel like being active anyway. Sometimes we would argue so bad that I would end up with a sharp pain in my chest. And it concerned me, but I never went to the hospital for it. And a lot of times, a whole lot of times, even in 2014 when I had first moved to Texas, it was the same way. Uh, not with arguing and feeling sharp pains, but a whole lot of times I have felt so lethargic that I felt like my legs was going to go out from underneath me, and I would have to lay down on the couch. And I ended up feeling that very same way even after I'd moved to Texas in 2014. I would have to lay down on the couch because I felt like my legs was going to go out from underneath me. I really felt so weak, which later I found out it was because I had hypothyroidism and anemia. And at that time, I didn't know that I had those medical conditions because I wasn't seeing a physician. I didn't have money to see a physician. And so, therefore, I did not know. And it kept me laid on the couch or even in the bed. But there was one scary moment in my life. And once again, I didn't go to the hospital about it. I died for 1 second, even two. I was on the computer and I remember so plainly the way that the breaker was set up for the house. The house was a pathetic house. The electric wasn't wired up right in the house, and the bathrooms the breaker had kicked. So my husband was at the breaker and he was working the switches until he found the switch that had kicked. And I'm sitting at my computer and my heart stopped beating for 2 seconds. Now I'm going to tell you exactly how that feels. For those 2 seconds, I was alert of what had took place, but at the same time, I felt myself fade. I had no breath for 2 seconds. If my heart hadn't started beating again after those 2 seconds, I would have fell out of the chair because I felt my body literally Now I know 2 seconds isn't long. It's not long at all. You look at the second hand. 2 seconds isn't long. But I tell you, when your heart stops beating for 2 seconds, your mind is still alert on that, and you feel what's going on with your body during those 2 seconds that your heart stops. My husband almost lost his wife that day. My heart hasn't done it since. But that one day, I knew I didn't want it to ever do it again. I don't know what happened. I don't know what made it stop. But that was a scary feeling. And I know after it started beating again, I almost broke down crying because it scared me. And during that time, I was not taking care of myself physically. Like I said, I didn't have health insurance. My husband drew disability, but his disability only allowed health care for the kids, but not for me. So I didn't have health insurance or health care. I wasn't seeing a physician. I had no idea if I ended up, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. Because I had no way of finding out. During that time, I don't think we even had a car. We had it rough during our early years of marriage. Me and my husband did. We had it rough. And he still does because he is on that disability. And of course, the government doesn't pay you enough through Social Security to survive on, sadly. But he can't work. He can't. He draws disability on slipped discs, nerve damage, and arthritis in his back. So he can't work. He's tried, and it lays him on the couch for over 2 weeks. He can't. So, but anyway, yeah, I had experienced a health crisis that had troubled me, and I didn't realize at that time that I had experienced it. I didn't realize that it had anything to do with the fact that I wasn't walking or being active because I was lazy anyway. I would sit on the couch for hours watching TV the way it was. But I never felt like getting up and doing anything either. So, it was a lose lose situation. I didn't feel like getting up and moving around, and I was too lazy to do it anyway. It just, and I don't know. But I wish that I had known at that time that I was suffering those two conditions because then I could have been taking medication to regulate my system. And it does make a difference taking the thyroid meds and the iron. It makes a huge difference in how I feel. So I am grateful that I finally got down to the bottom of that. That was the first thing that my housemate done with me when I came to Texas in 14. He got me in to see a physician, and that's when I found out that I had hypothyroidism and anemia. I had suffered for so long unnecessarily. So I'm very grateful. I'm grateful. No, I don't want to take medication, but I'm grateful that it's there for me to take, and the way I feel makes a big difference. Even if I'm not active, I can feel lethargic, but not feel like I have to lie down. Me staying active makes me feel better, but at least I don't feel almost paralyzed for not having strength. So, and I know with my walking, it can make a big difference on my metabolism, because it does strengthen the metabolism. It gets the metabolism burning hotter, and that's the reason why that I can still lose weight even when I rest on Sundays, because at least I've got my thyroid operating, so it does burn a little bit even if I'm not active for that day. And I just want to keep getting it stronger. I really want to boost my metabolism very good. I want it to be outrageously hot. That way, everything I eat, it disintegrates before my body even has a chance to put it in a fat cell. Hopefully, I'll get it to that point. And do you know that the more muscles that you build, the greater chance you've got of keeping a hot metabolism? Because muscle burns fat even better than walking alone. And so, with my strength training and seeing that the stomach is the strongest and best muscle in the body, it's actually stronger and better than the thighs. And the thighs are powerful muscles. But you think about it, you walk on your legs every day anyway, so they're already strong. But the stomach, when you strengthen your core, you've got a strong back, and the rest of your body can handle carrying weight. I mean, the core really makes a big difference. So that means that the muscles in the stomach area, in the waist, and the ribs, and the back area, all that, the core muscles are very powerful muscles. And with me doing core exercises, I'm getting them stronger. And the stronger they get, the hotter they will burn. So I'm working myself up a lot. And I'm keeping these things in the back of my mind so that I can continue referring to them when I want to give up. I think about all that. Look at how much weight you have lost in the little over 4 months. Think about how much stronger you're getting in your legs for the walking and the mowing grass, and how much stronger you're getting in your core for doing the push-ups and the planks and the core workout. I keep reminding myself of these things. That way I don't find myself just sitting and going, this feels so much better. And you think about if these athletes, you watch them in the gym and they're pushing themselves just a little further, maybe one more rep, one more pound. Just go for it. They're building themselves stronger, and you can see it in their face. They're going like, no, you see it, the strain. But they've got that determination that they are going to up themselves. They're going to better themselves. They are going to add to their exercise log an extra weight or an extra amount of time or an extra rep or whatever they're logging. They are building themselves up. When I was watching Real Tennyson, which I had told you the reason why I'd stopped watching him, but when I would watch him in the gym and he was preparing for a bodybuilder's competition, which meant he needed to have those ripped muscles all over. And he would get to the point where he couldn't, but he wouldn't leave it alone. Like he had to. And he would add the extra weights to it, or he would add an extra rep. And you would see it in his face, this strain that he was putting into it, but how good he felt after he accomplished it. And it paid off because he won first place in the competition. But it paid off, that determination. And he was already muscled, already slender, but he kept pushing himself further. So these people who are already fit and in good shape, but they're aiming for something, and they know that they've got to go just a little further to achieve it, but they're still pushing. And they are in agony, but they know that the payoff will be great. And that's what's keeping me going. Yeah, it would be so much easier to just sit on the couch and say, forget it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Too painful, too exhausting. But the other thought is, there is no living way that I want to become bedridden and have somebody else clean my body. I don't want to be to the point that I can't move around the house. I don't want to be to the point that I can't find any clothes to fit me and I practically have to lay naked in my bed. I don't want to get myself to the point that I try to breathe and I have to wear an APEP mask to breathe. And above all the health problems, I don't want to look at myself in the mirror and have so many different folds of fat that I can't see myself anymore. It isn't worth just sitting around and eating whatever I want, whenever I want, as long as I want. It's not worth it. I have to discipline myself. I have to put myself into that position to make myself do it right. Don't have seconds on this. No, you don't need that now. Go on ahead and go for a more protein packed, vegetable packed meal this time. You're fine. Nope, come on. You got to get out that door. You haven't done anything yet. Get out that door. Get those legs going. It does exhaust me. And it is painful. But it's not as painful as it was when I first started. And I can really reflect on that. the big difference that it is today compared to even as late as early of this year. The difference that it has made me continuing to push. How did I feel mowing this grass? I didn't want to do it anymore. I was running out of breath. I was getting nauseous, but it had to be done. And I had checked my heart rate on my watch. My heart rate was up to around 140 something, and I was in the sector of endurance training. I know that it can be discouraging to anybody who's trying to lose the weight and they're really trying to move it more. And maybe like yins are thinking that just eating different. And yeah, a non-clinical blind test. I ran it for 3 weeks, or at least 2.5 weeks. It was either 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, but it wasn't a full 30 days. It's just doing the way down. No exercises, no strength training, no walking, nothing. Just paying attention to how much I ate when I was hungry and stopping when I was satisfied. And that was it. And believe it or not, I lost 8 pounds in that small trial. I lost 8 pounds in the eating alone. So, yeah, you can lose weight by changing how you eat. But are you wanting to become stronger? Are you wanting to become more energized? That's where fitness comes in. That's where you're going to have to become more active, do walks, rates, whatever, bicycling, whatever, if you want to gain stamina and energy. But yeah, you can lose weight with just modifying how you eat. That alone makes a giant difference. Let's see who's knocking on my door. Oh, hi, Mom. So, yep, I had learned through that trial that I could lose the weight with just modifying how I eat. But I'm not just wanting to lose weight. It'd be as simple as that. Just sit and watch how I eat. Lose the weight like that. But I'm wanting to do more than that. I'm wanting to do more than that. There are places around here that I want to be able to walk and hike. I would love to explore some of the areas around here. I understand that out west of Texas is desert land and like the canyon type rock formations where the Adobe Indians and all those used to live. I would love to go explore those. And that requires being able to hike it. I want to be in shape to be able to do that kind of stuff, to be able to hike these deep trails and stuff. When I was doing the trails before, I was losing the weight at the time, and it helped a whole lot for me to be able to walk the trails. But I'm wanting to be able to explore even bigger trails, bigger areas. Check out the canyons that has the rock walls where the Indians used to drill. And just really get out there and do exciting, adventurous things. And I sure can't do that if I'm sitting on the couch. Can't do it. It's not possible. For one, it's not possible if I'm sitting on the couch because I'm not getting out there. And for two, it's not possible if I haven't strengthened myself and built my stamina and energy up. So it's kind of I can either make it a lose-lose situation or I can make it a win-win. I'd rather win. I'd rather win. And besides, I'm the boss over my body. My body isn't the boss of me. I'm the boss over my body. And I'm telling my body, straighten up. But as I had said, with how much I'm moving now, with how much activity I'm doing now, and I'm not even at the tip of the iceberg yet. I'm wanting to get even more active than I was this week. I'm wanting to get way more active than I was this week. So I've not even just begun. I, or I could say I've just begun, but I am nowhere near how I'm wanting to do. And with how active I am getting and me still paying close attention to what I'm eating, when I'm eating, how much I'm eating, because I am limiting myself on the better foods that I enjoy, like the pizzas, pizza rolls, hamburgers, french fries, all that good stuff, all that yummy, yummy good stuff. I am watching how often I eat that so that I eat the stuff I enjoy as well that is good for me, like meats, the few vegetables I do like. Hey, I'm not I'm not ever going to entirely stop eating sweets and fast fixins, but I am going to keep that at a minimal amount of times, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, something like that, but not every day. Because I do want to make sure that I get the proteins and nutrients that my body needs through meats and vegetables, through the yogurt and the spring mix salads, and to just really keep it real balanced because my body needs that stuff. And if I'm constantly eating the fast fixins that I enjoy so much, I'm really cutting myself short of what my body needs. And I'm not going to go to taking multis because I'm already taking 2 pills too many a day. I don't want to take any more than that. So yes, it comes down to paying attention what I'm eating, when I'm eating it, how much I'm eating, and how often, and on occasion allow myself the richer, faster fixins or even restaurant food, because I found that if I don't allow myself that stuff on occasion, then I find myself indulging. But there is one thing I've also noticed. Um, because I'm limiting how often I have that kind of food, I'm also finding that I don't crave it as often, which is good. That is very good. Means I can keep it at a minimal and practice more on the foods that I really need. So that, yes. Basically, I'm still wearing training reels, but at the rate I'm going, I think it's about time for me to take those training reels off and me just go unattended. Or as it would be said, being able to ride without the reels. I'm really amazed. Totally, totally amazed. I had watched, for some reason, it was on my recommendation list. A video that I had pasted back, that I had posted, sorry, a video that I had posted back, it was probably around the end of March or April of 2020. And by this point, I had started to gain the weight back. And so I was trying to pick the pace up to start losing it again. Because in 2019, I had gotten down to 171. But on this video in 2020, I had said that I was 189.7. But I had gone to doing my weights. I wasn't doing any floor exercise, apparently. I was doing weights and then walking. And I was talking about the different things that I was doing. And like I was saying, and the thought that went through my mind when I was watching myself, I had said, okay, I am getting ready to go walking where I'm walking. It gives me about 11,000 steps or so. Walking to McDonald's, I'm going to get myself a small mocha frappe, which is a big difference because I used to get me a large. And then I'm going to walk to the dollar store and I'm going to get myself whatever the word was I said. It might have been some goodies or some candy or something. And I added, I don't know if I'm going to get the sweet tart ropes or not. And I said, the other day I had bought two, green apple and cherry. And I was thinking to myself, last night as I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, oh, wonder you gained the weight back. It didn't matter if you was walking to the store to get this. But I wasn't controlling myself in how much I was eating. I wasn't controlling myself. And I thought that I was in the clear walking to McDonald's and walking to the Family Dollar to get this candy. Now, and note, it's not wrong or bad or causes weight problems to have a mocha frappe, and it doesn't cause problems to have sweet tart ropes or any other kind of candy. But when I had said what I was going to be getting, it brought back to memory how much I had been indulging back in that time. And it was a lot. I wasn't controlling myself. And I thought that I was justified for walking to McDonald's and for walking to the Family Dollar to get this stuff. Yeah, I would have been justified if I had been eating my regular proteins and vegetables and hadn't had a mocha frappe for a good while, hadn't had any candy for a good while. Yeah, I would have been justified for walking and getting it. That would have been something special, kind of like maybe a type of reward for doing so well. But no, I was doing this on a regular basis, and I thought the walking was justifying it. And instead, all it was doing was it was causing my stomach to swell all over again because my stomach was getting to look pretty good when I'd gotten down to 171. But I was also doing my strength training on the floor. I was doing planks. I was doing push-ups. I was doing crunches. I was doing the reverse crunches with my legs in the bicycle form. So, losing the weight, my stomach was starting to look smaller. My clothes was looking good. But then I lost control. And I honestly thought that my walking was making a difference. But I continued gaining. I continued gaining. So I think maybe it was a God thing for my video from 2020 to pop up on my recommendation last night. Maybe a small reminder from God, because I listened closely to what I was saying to my viewers. I listened closely, and I was mentally I was slapping myself. You dummy, you dummy, you dummy, you. That was not right. So I have really learned so much this time around compared to. And I really believe that by me watching that last night was a reminder of something that I don't want to ever get back into. Would I walk to a restaurant? Yes, I would. Would I do it every day? No, I wouldn't. And I'm going to tell you something. Last year, I was constantly walking over to the DG because it's just a hop, skip, and a jump. Round trip, it only makes just a little over a mile. Just a hop, skip, and a jump. No problem, man. I want it. I'll just walk over. No problem. Even in the sweltering heat, I was walking over there constantly, 2, 3 times a week, even 4 times. And I was getting myself whatever I wanted. Monster Javas, whatever, whatever. Do you know I have discovered that I'm able to hold on to my petty cash by not walking over there? I have discovered I can hold on to my little petty cash by not walking over there. And it doesn't bother me one bit that I'm not. Whereas before, all last year, it would drive me nuts and I'd be thinking, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Have I got the money for it? Do I have the money for it? Is there any money to spare for it? What have I got? What have I got left? Can I go over there and get? It would keep me up alive. And not now. Not now. I'm perfectly fine for not going over there. Now, yesterday I had thought maybe about walking over there and getting me a can of Arizona sweet tea. I decided against it. One, I didn't want to spend my dollar. Two, uh, I decided I didn't want to walk over there because I just got done with a walk. Three, I had my Powerade chilling in the freezer. What would I do with an extra drink? And you know what? I was perfectly fine for not walking over there and getting it. Now, would me having a can of Arizona sweet tea hurt me? No. But the thing was, I'd already had sweetened coffee, and I was going to be drinking the sweet Powerade. And as the saying goes, don't drink your calories. So I had plenty of calories already just in my drinks. Yeah, I would have burned more calories walking over there. That wouldn't have been no problem at all. But I saved myself a buck. So I don't need to go over to DG so much anymore. I just don't. Now, most of the time when I go over there, it's because I need something else entirely that has nothing to do with food. Most of the time. Sometimes I will go over there, but I also have control over what I buy instead of what I used to buy, which was an armful of candy. Now I settle with either one box or two of theater candy. And matter of fact, I think the last time I did buy myself something, it was I think the last time I literally bought myself a treat, it was a theater box of M&Ms and a can of Oreo flavored International Delight iced coffee. And that was it. And that was the last time. And for me to have to sit here and think about it for a minute means it was a little while ago. So little bits of improvement here and there, and they make a very big difference. They make a huge difference. The little changes you make, the easier it is to make those changes later on. But you got to make that first step. If you don't make the first step, you'll never take the second step. You got to take the first step first. And that's what I'm doing. One foot in front of the other, one step at a time, one day at a time. Little bits here and there, more changes, focusing more on what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Keeping my eyes on the prize of how much weight I am, how my clothes fit, how much stronger am I, how much more stamina I have, how much more energy I have, more alert. I, I suffer from brain fog, and I also suffer from my brain just completely shutting down so that I have nothing in there. But at the same time, I'm more focused. I am more focused. I'm not so much suffering from a lazy brain like what I did, because I used to just allow my brain to float, but now I'm focused. And that's something that I had just realized just now talking to you. I had just realized that of how much more focused I am. I'm focused on this, and my concentration levels are stronger. And I had never even factored that in for what would take place with me being more active and focused on my weight loss journey. But for the things that I have learned, where I have done it so many times, there really is a difference. There's a big difference, a giant difference. The determination is there. Having the set mind and the determination, almost like saying to myself when I find myself slowly slipping away, getting a grip on myself and saying to myself, oh, no, you don't. Not this time. I finally actually have myself. I finally have myself. I don't know where I'm holding on to myself. I don't know if it's my ankles or my hands, but I finally have myself. And that's something that I'd never had before. When trying to lose the weight, I didn't have that. Wow. I think the one thing that's helping a lot too, because I I done video every day on my journey in 18 and 19. But there were some things that I would hold back and not reveal to my viewers. If I cheated on my diet, I wouldn't share that with my viewers. I kept a lot of things back, and that kind of allowed me to get away with things. Whereas this time, I am being truthful with you all and with myself. When I do something, I let you know. And when I slip up and I reveal it to you, it kind of gives me an embarrassment and lets me know not to do it again because I'm being honest about it this time. And because I am seriously trying to document what I'm doing and not hold anything back about it, it is keeping me honest. I could have very easily ate the M&Ms, the pizza rolls, and the Tootsie Roll Pop without logging it and without blurting it out on the camera and telling you I did it. I could have very easily done that. Just went on ahead and got away with it. But I was truthful and honest about it. This isn't my first cup of coffee. My first today was only about 11 ounces, 10, 10, 11, 12 ounces, somewhere around there. And I didn't drink all of it. I came out and mowed. And then when I came back in, I finished drinking it and it went down so good. So this is a 20-ounce mug. This is a 20-ounce mug. And I thought to myself, I'm going to get myself some more coffee. That's going down good. So this time I filled it up. A second cup of coffee, 20 ounces. So that makes me a total of about, for the sake of argument, I'm going to say just the same as 32 ounces of coffee today. And I logged it. I logged it. I'm still under 1,000 calories burned, or I'm still under 1,000 calories consumed, but I'm like 900 and something consumed already, just with my breakfast and the coffee. But I'm being honest about this. I'm being honest about this. I don't want to ever be dishonest with myself again or deceive myself, because that's the one thing that I was doing really drastically in 2020 when I was gaining the weight back. After going after doing so much in 18 and 19, to go from 217, because that's how much I weighed when I went at it again. I was 217 when I went at it again, and I got all the way down to 171. And then I started deceiving myself, telling myself, oh, you'll continue losing the weight. Go on ahead and eat what you want. Eat as much as you want. Go on ahead. You're going to continue losing the weight. I was deceiving myself. I'm not going to do that now. I'm done lying to myself. I know how my body is. And I know for a fact that if I would have ate the suggested amount of calories that they wanted me to on that diary last night of 2,600 something, that wouldn't be no 220.9. I would be more like 222 something. Mm-mm. I know myself. I know my body. And the reason why that I had gained 4 ounces is because I had the pizza rolls and the M&Ms and the Tootsie Roll. No, I'm not lying to myself anymore. Not anymore. Anyway, my phone had given me the warning that I'm on low battery at 20%. And I'm going to take advantage of the rest of the day and do some of my earnings. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to jog in place with Sally McRae or not. I might not. I haven't decided on that yet. I was thinking about wearing a dress when I started to pull my clothes out for my shower, and I thought, no, I might choose to jog in place. So I just went on ahead and put on my gym props in case. So I'm prepared to do it if I would choose to. It would make a nice little addition, that's for sure. But anyway, thank you so much, y'all. Thank you so much. I think it's helping a whole lot too because I'm sharing this with you all. In a lot of ways, I feel like I'm not doing it alone, you know? And my biggest fan is my sister from Ohio who encourages me every single solitary day. And I appreciate her so much. Thank you. I love you, girl. So, anyway, I'm going to go on ahead and say goodbye. And I will be with you tonight with the conclusion video. And I love all of you. And I greatly appreciate you. I appreciate you in many different ways. And I am very thankful to be able to share my journey with you all. Anyway, I'm going to go on ahead and say goodbye for now. As I said, I will see you tonight with my conclusion video for the day. There will be no live stream tomorrow or video, and Sunday is my rest day. Um, I don't know. I might give you a short video Saturday night just to fill you in with how I done for the day. But other than that, it's not. Don't go expecting one. I may or may not, but don't expect it. I'll just surprise you one way or another. Okay. Anyway, I will see you again. If not tomorrow night, after tonight, I will see you again Monday. So anyway, as I said, I love you all. Thank you so very much. And I appreciate you. You guys have a great rest of your day.